Hi friends, it's Nancy, and today I wanted to show you how to make the out of junk mail, the flippy flap that I learned how from Nicole at Relax Cut Glue, and I will link her channel below. She's the one that got me started on this, and I absolutely love it. And I think I had showed you in December the Christmas one I made, and I started a Valentine, well, like love Valentine one, and I thought it'd be fun to show you how to do one, and then I'll kind of work in I've started mine already, but I can still work on it. So I'm going to show you. I collect, and I'm sure we all get it, junk mail, like all of these cards that come in the mail, advertising things, these kind of things that usually I just throw in the garbage because I don't even bring them in the house. You know, it's just all these cards, and then sometimes you get a cool one that flips and open, like it's a double page one. And so I just kind of started collecting them, which, you know, I think I get one almost every day of one of those things. So I've been collecting them for a while. So I'm going to show you how I do it, and it's pretty much I learned it from Nicole, so I definitely want you to check her out because she's a hoot and she is the queen of collage, let me tell you. So, and I love her. So I'm going to put this one aside. So I want to show you what I'm using. All right, so I have, here's the funny thing. Here's one of those pieces here. I have a nice, pretty red envelope, right? Well, my family knows that when I give them a card, I don't seal it and I don't write their name on the front. It wouldn't even matter if they had their name on the front. But I've got my family trained to know that when they get the card, they take the card and they hand me the envelope right away. They don't rip it because I leave it like this. And they just like, here, Mom, I know you want this. I'm like, yep. So, you know, when you buy cards at the Dollar Tree and you're giving it to your family or close friends, just leave it unsealed and just let them know that you would like the envelope because they're going to throw it away anyway. So anyway, I look for colored envelopes, and so I have a little bag full of them because, like I said, I have a regular envelope, just a regular one. I have 3 pieces of these things we get in the mail. But you know, if you don't have this kind of stuff, just take old scrapbook paper, you know, whatever, a cardstock, just, you know, you don't have to have specific. These things come in every magazine you ever get, and there's usually like, how many are in one, right? So I started ripping these out because that's what Nicole did. Here's another, look at this one. We got this one in the mail, and it's got that, but we're going to cover it up. And then here's one that I must have sealed, or I think my husband did when he gave me a card. And then I carefully ripped it open, and then we're going to use that. And then I have another envelope. So you don't have to have the colored envelopes, but if you have one or two, it's kind of nice that you wouldn't even have to cover the whole background like you would on some of the other things. You could just add your collage right on the envelope. So, I mean, whatever you have, and the fun part is putting it together. So I'm going to show you how I put this together. Now I pulled out a lot of washi tapes that are either Valentine related or not, but that would go. And Nicole always puts them together with her washi tapes, and I find I love doing the washi tapes, but they don't stick really well sometimes, so I have to run it over the glue stick, which I think a lot of us do. If you don't have washi tapes, just use like a thin tape, any kind of tape, not thin, but I mean, you know, like a cheap masking tape, and because you're going to cover it anyway. But what I like about using the washi is that you will see seams here and there, and it just adds to the effect if you do have something washi. Okay, all right, so I'm going to put it together with washi, and I'll probably have to add glue here and there. And if you think it's sticky and you stick it down, but it starts coming up, you can just put some glue under there, okay? All right, so let me see. No rhyme or reason. You can make it as big as you want or as little as you want. So I have these 3 pieces here. Now, they all are, believe it or not, they're all the same height. So that helps a lot. But I can tell you that this one is the widest one. This one is the widest. I'm going to put this one as the back. And then these will go on the end. Okay. I hope you're all doing well. I was so excited to show you how I do this, that it's fun. You can make it smaller. You can make it big, whatever you want to do. So I thought this would be fun. Now this will be the cover, you see, and that'll be the back part. So if this is the cover, I like to add another something on the front. So I think I could add this envelope as a flip right here on the front, and you'll see I did it on the one I started. So then this would be the cover, and then you could flip this out and something would be here, something would be there. Or I can use a white envelope, put a small one on top. So, you just, unless you have all your images, and I'll show you what I pulled for images. Unless you have all your papers and images that you definitely know what you want to put on the front, I would say just put the base together and just have fun with it. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep this on the front because I like, it's almost the same size, but it doesn't have to be because it's more interesting if you don't have the same size flips and flaps. All right, so if I want this one here, I know I'm going to have to put it like this and glue this here, but I want another flip in here. And I just, if the journaling girl in you wants to make pockets, you can do that, but I'm not doing that. That's my saying between me and my daughters. I'm not doing that. Okay, so we're having hats and shirts made with that on because we use that phrase all the time now. Okay, so then I want to flip here too. So what I would have to do is first glue this flap here, and then I could glue this one here because this is going to be a flap. Oh wait, I want to glue, hold on, because this envelope's smaller, so let's rethink this. I am going to put on this envelope on this side, and then put that one on that side. So then you'll open this, you'll have this as your main cover, you'll have this side, and then here this will be glued. You know what? No. See, because we got to think this through a little bit. Okay, there, that goes there, but I want this one, because it's smaller, I want this one to be here. That's right. Okay, so this will glue here. So then you would have to cover that. I really thought it'd be fun to use it as is. So let's rethink this. I thought I had this down, but let's rethink it. And then, you can put it wherever you want, to the lower, to the higher, but I'm going to keep it here. So, all right, let's do that. So I know I want that as my flip on the cover. All right, and then this would get glued here. Now, I wanted to put an envelope here, but I think I need a bigger envelope. Let me see what I have here. Let's see, do I want this one here? I want something smaller, I think. I don't know if I have another, let's see here. I know. All right, we're gonna figure this out. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to glue this flap here. It's a puzzle, okay? But once you make them, they're fine. So we're going to glue that there. That'll work. And we're still going to use this one here too. So this way we don't cover up our red one. And if you're going to put a red one on there, you might as well use it, right? You don't have to put any paper on there. So then this will be glued there, and that will be there. There we go. We figured it out. So let's just start gluing this so we don't forget. So, all right. So now you want this one here, and I'm going to put it right there. So I'm going to put that over, and I am going to glue this flap. Okay. So let's just get some glue on here. It doesn't have to be like totally perfect. Just make sure you have glue on there, and then, because it's going to be covered with paper probably. So let's just put that on the front cover. So this is the front here, okay? So we have that on. Now this is the inside, so that's going to be there. Got it? Now this we want on the outside, so we're going to keep the flap here. So we want to put glue. Let me get a paper here. We're going to put glue on this side of the flap because this is going to go down on the cover, because we want to be able to use the red envelope without putting, you don't have to cover it with another paper like the junk mail. Okay, so there we got that. Now we want to line it up where you want it, and I am going to put it even with the bottom here. So I'm going to move it over quickly if I can here, or not. I'll line it up this way. Okay, it's better this way. Let's do that. So some spots you'll need washi, and some spots you won't. So just make sure it's even with your edge here. Okay, and it's, it's not going to be 100% perfect, but you get it as perfect as you can do it. Okay, so here's our front. We have a flap. This will be covered, so you won't see this, and you'll have to cover this one here. So there's the cover. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, and then when you open it, we've got another flip here. Got it? Okay, so now let's get back to here. We want to connect these. So this is where you're going to need washi. And because they are the same size, it's kind of nice to line them up and put washi across here. Now, I think I'm just going to grab the black. I have this wide black, and you want wide to join those. So I am going to get my glue paper here. Let's put it on here. Do that so I can put some glue. I'm going to put glue right across here for now, just to grab the washi. And I moved it, so let's get that ready again. I'm going to take my washi, and like I said, you can use whatever you have, and I am going to kind of do it halfway if I can figure this out with looking like this. And if my head's in the way, I apologize. Good way to use up your old washi, because I think we all have it. We all have it. So I might as well. Now I'm going to lift this up. It's probably going to move again anyway. Oops. Yeah, this washi's a good washi, isn't it? It's grabbing my paper already. That's okay. Now, so there we are. Oops, I got to go back this way. Okay. Now, still keep it lined up. Okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you can't keep it lined up. And we're going to trim the top off. So let's just get washi here. Glue for our washi, and we're going to flip it over. So you just kind of eyeball it. I mean, you want kind of around the same, because then, it covers the edges and you won't see it. So there's that. Okay, let's see how that is. All right. I like it. So we can trim this off here. There we go. And this one a little. Okay. Okay, so there's that. All right, so far, cover, flip on the cover, open it up, and now these two are joined. I will do the same on the inside here now. I'll just run my glue stick right down the middle, and I'm going to use this again and just kind of go past the edge and then cut it off. Press it down. I got it pretty good. And then let's lift it. And as long as it's laying flat, you didn't like put it on too tight, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do. And then if you really like doing this like I do, you can get real creative and add a whole bunch of, you can make it huge and make all kind of flips and flaps, you know. Okay, there we go. Open it up. We have another flip. All right, now we could add more here, but let's hold on. We have this connected, and then we need to connect the back, but we've got to figure out, we still have some pieces here, right? We have two of those. I'll show you what to do, and we have another cute different size envelope. So what I'm thinking, you know what I like to do here? I like to put like my favorite image or page from a magazine here, because when this is closed and then you open this, you see, like, to me, I like to put like the image, my favorite one right here, but you can definitely just add these on or another envelope, whatever. But so far I'm liking like putting my favorite image here. Okay, so we know we're going to connect these. Now let's see how we're going to add these envelopes on. So what I want to do, I think I'm going to put this one on the inside, and this one I want to put on the outside. So let's see, see if we do that. I'm just going to play with it. Okay, so that will be the back. Now here, once again, we're going to put it where you want it. We could just do something different like that if you want. So then we glue that flap there. This will be a flip, and the back will be a flip here. So let's do that. Okay. All right. So it doesn't take long, and it's not rocket science. I think, you know, I mean, I struggled in the beginning, but really, once you make a couple, and you know what, this is like making flips, like when we did our own, you know, when we do flippy things in journal making. It's the same thing. How many of us have made things with the envelopes and stuff? So this is nothing new to us journal people, but the glue bookers do this all the time. All right, so now we have that. That's the back. And make sure it, you know, it works really well. So now we're here. I want this one to be here somewhere. So we have this one in the middle. We could put it in the middle. We can have it down here, or we can have it up here. For some reason, I want to put it here again. I think I do. Do I? No. Do I want a middle? Because I'm going to use these. We're going to do these over here too. Let's see. I think I'll put it closer to the bottom. All right. So that means I'm going to get glue on this flap here. And here's another, you know, like I said, if you use colored envelopes, your envelope is colored already. You don't have to worry about covering it. So it kind of saves a little bit of time and thinking. It's a fun way to do it. All right, so I'm going to take this, line this up here on this one. Make sure it's lined up here and here the best you can. And then you could press it down. Okay, so then we have that. And just to make sure it stays flat, and that's flat. Okay, so this goes here. And we are going to connect this before we add these. So let's do that. I'll just turn it this way for now. Open this up for a minute. And we're going to connect them. I'm going to just kind of hold them together just for now. Let's see if we can do it that way. Put glue down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just to get them too close together. Okay, so let's get that on there. Let me see, I might just do half for now. Let's get that on. Half. I don't know if it's half. Let's see if I did a good job there. We can flip it over and then you can see. Oh yeah, pretty good. Let's move this piece up just a little bit. Let's see. Cut this off. That looks okay, but I can still fix it. Hold on. I'm being picky now. After I told you don't worry about it, I'm being picky about it now. But there. Okay, so now I'm going to put it where I want it. Put these up before my glue dries. Okay. And this side here. Whatever works for you, right? Okay, let's just get this on. Okay, now it's starting to, so see how it doesn't want to close? We want to make sure it's not too close. Whoops, okay, that's okay. We'll fix it. We're gonna make it work. Sorry. So sorry about that. It's like too much flipping and flapping going on here, so I mean, you want it close, but you don't want it to where it doesn't close. That's what I'm saying. So, there's usually a little room. It has to have a little gap in there, but you can fix it before the glue dries. And I think that should do it, maybe. Let's see. See how that works. See how it closes better now? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Where are we here? Did I put on the wrong? No, we're good. Okay, so we have that. That's our front. And then we have this, that's that one, and we'll trim that, just press that down, and we need to put some on this side here. Okay, we're getting there. It's not, there we go. So you see how there's a gap there? That's what we got to make sure we keep, so everything folds flat. So I'm going to just run my glue here again, and take another washi. I'm just using the black for now just to make it faster and easier. But, I'll show you on the inside. We'll use some colors, like the pinks and stuff. So, okay, so now that should be perfect because we have our gap in there already, right? So let's cut the ends off. We can just fold it here. Trim these off. And this one. I mean, you could add on and make it like one big giant project that will just flip and flip and flip and flip, depending on your theme, what you want to do. If you want to make a floral theme, flowers or whatever, any kind of theme that you could just work on throughout the year, you could just keep, make it a giant flip thing. All right, now. Here we are again. See now how it's all coming together. Front, yes. We got that in here. Here's the other part. We've got the middle. We have this part here. We're going to add something here. And then when this closes, we have another flap here. Now, we could add more, but I'm going to make this one kind of basic, but show you the pieces that I'm using. So on this one here, and you can add these to any of these pieces here, but I'm going to add one up here. It's okay to have shorter. You just obviously can't have it longer than your ends and that. So I am going to put these here kind of in the middle, and these are going to be added with washi. So I'm going to grab some of this washi. You're not going to see much of it, but we'll use it because I got a lot of it. All right, so now if I can get it off without ripping. You know, some of these washies just shred, right? This is, I think I've had this a very long time. Haven't used it, as you can see, right? So I'm trying to use it. Let me just slowly rip some of this off. And they say, some people say if it's hard or if it's shredding, just put this in the microwave for like 5 to 10 seconds. And I tried it and it works for me. So if you have washi like this, that's hard, or it starts ripping, that you can't pull it all in one piece, try it like 3, I would say, I had it 5 seconds and then I had to put it in for about 3 more. So maybe 8 to 10, depending. All right, so once again, let me move this washi out of the way here. I am going to put glue along this edge here, right here, and then I'm going to put washi on there. So I'm going to do this, and I can kind of see through this, so I'm going to put it there about, just to give me something to work with here. Let's cut it off. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so that's going to go on here. So I need to put glue here. But remember, if you have a flippy on the other side, you better move it out of the way so we only have this part here, okay? So now what I'm going to do is put glue on my tape here, like that. And then I'm going to line it up where I think I want it. Like that. Leave a little gappy thing there. You'll know if it doesn't flip and stay flat. You'll know you got to pull it down a little. Let's see how that will work. Okay, but this will be this. I would keep these in, and then that flips over. Okay, so I am going to. I need to trim that little piece off here. Let's get that part off, this little piece. You'll figure it out because you know it won't flip over, so you'll know that you need to cut that tiny piece off. Okay, so we glue there, that's okay. All right, so now we have one flip out on. Okay, and now let's do this one. Same way. Let me just get some glue on here. Okay, and let's get some more. I think I'll put it on this way. Hopefully it doesn't rip. Seems like it's coming off good. Okay, so now I'm going to put it halfway if I can, something like halfway. I'm going to cut it. It's got a pretty good stick for being an old washi tape, huh? Let's get that on. And try not to stretch your washi across because it will buckle your paper. So just, you know. Let's see how that looks. Ah, okay. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so that's on. And then I think I can cut these edges off. So make it even with your junk mail. Oh, come on, sticking. And let's do this side here, like so. There we go. So now I'm going to have you saving your junk mail and your, you know, another thing to start saving, right? If you haven't saved it already, but I think a lot of us already saved junk mail like this because you never know when you're going to need it, right? All right, so I'm going to kind of put that in the middle of this page here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just somewhere there. Leave a little gap, fold it over, press, and as long as it's flipping and flapping with no problem, we did a good job, I think. So it's getting big. So we can just kind of push that on there like so. All right, so far so good. All right, so that's, I mean, you could go on and on, like I said, but this can go here. And then you have this flap, you have these two flaps here. Close that up. Back cover, you got another flap. You can add more things, but let's just leave it at this for now. And because these two big pieces were slightly smaller than this one, I know they're not interfering with the seam. So there we go. We've got our little junk mail folio ready to go. So now I can show you that, and I want to show you what I use, what I collect. Okay, so I already showed you washi tape. We have washi tape, or if not, if you don't have it. I have a whole pile of stuff. Let me start bringing something over. So if you were a prior scrapbooker or something to the effect, you have probably scrapbook paper that you haven't used in years and you probably never will. So get it out, because I did have a small collection of Valentine related scrapbook paper. So I got that out. I do have some stickers. I mean, these are so old. I know those were from the Dollar Tree. I have some, these, I don't know where I got these from. These are roses. These are not really dimensional, but they look dimensional. You can use something like that. These are slightly dimensional, but they're not huge. So these would work too. So get out some stickers you might have and some washi tape, and scrapbook paper, because that'll be great if you want to cover big pieces, but I want you to look through your magazines. Let me put that over there, because I can show you images, what I'm using. So I have some Reminisce magazines. I have some Mary Jane Farm magazines, food magazines. I have Tea Time magazines, Victoria magazines, and I think I said before, if you're doing a theme like Valentine's Day, look for the issues from that have January, February, or just February, March, or something with February, because they'll always have Valentine stuff in those magazines. So if you have any magazines, I would say first look at the months that it's covering, and you'll definitely find images in there. So for instance, Tea Time, look at this one. Oh my gosh, Reminisce, Tea Time, Mary Jane Farm, Mary Jane Farm, Mary Jane. I got a lot from Mary Jane. Look at this. How cute is this breakfast? But the eggs in heart-shaped little pizzas. Tea Time? Yeah, Tea Time. Tea Time, or Victoria magazine. Victoria magazine, same here. This was something I had on the side from Daphne Diary. So what else can I show you? Then you can pull that out. But then also these magazines have smaller images. And so I went through them. I have a hand with a tray of chocolate dipped strawberries. I have this heart. Anything that looks Valentine related. A felted hanger, some kind of a felt purse. Here's a bunch of seed packets shaped in a heart. This is like a blurred cup with candy in it. Look at the heart made of buttons. Here's one. I think this is probably my last, maybe one of my last Cupids I have. Felted hearts. A vintage Valentine picture. This cute little whatever jar with a knitted thing on it. Words. Look for words. Oh, I do have another one. Good. Here's a cute pie. Here's a cute little vintage photo. I'm so fond of you. Oh, here's some more words. Chocolate is happiness you can eat. look at, here's another, like a pillow. And then look at these two, if I can get them out, two pillows on a couch. LONVE. They were two pillows on a couch. I cut them out like that. Well, that's cool. So look for images. Also, I told you I have teacups to last me my lifetime from Tea Time magazine. They always have a nice collection of teas. Also, I have a few vintage Life magazines, and some of the, back in the 40s and 50s, some of the pages had color on them. And I just thought these, I love like retro ladies and stuff. So I have these possibility to use. I took that page out. And also I have printables. If you have printables, this is on a sticker page that I had cut out. That's where I cut out my Whitman's thing. And then I have printables. Look at this old-fashioned soda. It's pink. And I have more of the printable sticker that I have. And then I found recently, oh wait, here's some more printables. Here's scrapbook paper with X's and O's. Printables that I just, you know, I'm starting to use them already, cutting them up, all kind of Valentine related. Look for your, whatever you have in your stash already. And then I also found, just recently popped up on my Etsy searches, look at these gals. OMG, they're Valentine gals. Look at, they're so pretty. I was cutting them out by hand, so. This is from a shop. It's Vintage Paper Supply Company. I will list their Etsy shop, but it is Vintage Paper Supply Company. And these are Valentine ladies, and I love them because they're retro, and I love them. And they're all different pinks and reds, and these girls are in pretty dresses. We've got ladies in the red coats. I started cutting out these girls holding chocolates and a rose and a Valentine, and look at that one. It's a pretty red dress. I think there's 4 pages in there, and she's got other dolls. I think I bought all of them. Different. There's Christmas dolls. There's Easter ones, and something else. Kitchen-y ones. And then look at these. Look, these came in the 4-page kit here. And oh my gosh, these are so fun. So I already started using them. So look through your digitals. Look through your magazines. Just look through any magazine. I mean, this isn't, this is just a page of pink teacups. So it reads, it'll read Valentine and Love to Me. And I've used them in my Frame Your Collage too as well. So just kind of go through what you have. Now, for instance, remember I told you I like to use that middle page when you open it up for like my favorite image. And this, I love this so much. I mean, I love all my images, but that one there, oh, I want to put it in the middle of this. I want it to go here. And definitely it will fit. I just have to cut it down. So I'm going to cut it down. I'll just show you on here. I'm going to cut it down, but I almost want to put, you can like frame it in washi, so I could put more black here. And I'm almost thinking I want to do that just to frame it. I don't have to do it that way. You can have your picture butt up to, you know, I'll have to cut some of this down anyway. So I don't know. Let's see. So I know it's bigger. I don't want to cut off the Happy Valentine Day, but I can cut off the bottom. So I'm going to get my cutter out and cut off some of this here. Right above that pink line, I think would be good. And you know what? Nothing's perfect. So don't, if you have to be perfect with everything, I would say maybe it will drive you crazy to do this. But I wanted to keep the Happy Valentine Day, and the way I like that the washi is over more, because this picture is going to not, it will just fit. When I cut it off on the sides, getting rid of that pink, it's going to fit. And I might have to just trim that tiny bit off there where it curves. So let's see, I could do that. So let's start. And I would love to see this image in the middle. I love it so much. Let me move that out of the way. And also, if you're going to use your cutters, be very careful, because magazine page is thin, and these blades will shred them. So if you're going to use something like that, I found for me, instead of starting from the edge here or from the edge here, if you kind of just put it kind of on the page, line it up, push it down, and then go up here and then gently come back down, it seems to work better. Or if you don't want to do that, then just use scissors and cut it by hand. All right, so let's see. So now this is going to go to the bottom of the page, and so far so good, right? And then we have the top. We have a little bit of room. We might have to cut some off here, which leaves some of the backing. That's why I wanted to add washi tape, just so you don't see any of that. So I'm going to put some glue here, along here, and I'm not folding it over. I could, just to be safe, but we're going to cover the back probably with a whole image, a whole page image, or even scrapbook paper. So for now, I am going to just put this up to here, and I don't need to go over the fold. We don't need to add any more bulk to the fold. So there's that. And now I'm going to probably do it along the bottom too, just in case it shows. So let's get that there. Let's get some glue here. My washi. And I can line that up. It's pretty easy to do. You don't need to go over your seams there. So just cut it before the seam. It's the same color, so it doesn't show. It's really fun. Okay, so there. All right, so now I know I'm not going to worry about anything showing. So I'm going to cut the sides off. So let's get the sides cut off. And that, putting the washi there gives you the leeway of, this is like a cover, so this is a little thicker. But what I'm saying is you can just move it to the middle, go up, and then slowly down, and it doesn't rip. I don't find that it rips the page. And I like it that way. So I'm going to just line it up again and kind of put the blade down, go that way, and then come slowly that way, and there, see, it doesn't. Now we're going to have to cut the top off too. Okay, so I know I'm going to have to cut it here to not have that pink on. So that's, I got a little pink. I might have to trim off a smidge of that. Is it going to bother me? Maybe. Am I going to notice it? Yeah, I notice it. So, but see, by cutting, yeah, I can definitely cut some more. But see, even though the picture is shorter, the washi kind of covers up. You don't have to worry about the junk mail showing. So I am going to trim a smidge off of this again. But this is my favorite image that I found. I mean, I love all of them, but look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. And once you start, you just don't want to stop. I just want to keep going, right? So you've got enough black frame around it now that you can make sure it's like kind of where you want it. And oh my gosh, it's so cute. All right, I'm going to use my fabric tack for this only because it's thicker. It's the cover, so I can get away with that. If it's magazine page, the best thing to do is glue stick, not regular glue, because the magazine is so thin that it will show all your glue lines and it'll look terrible. So glue stick for sure on regular thin magazine page. If you're using a cover that's got thickness to it, you can use the fabric tack or glue stick. Continue using glue stick. Okay, so let's grab this now, and I'm going to carefully get it centered. And with the fabric tack too, you get a few minutes to play around here a little bit. So let's do that. Not too bad. Okay, let's just move that over. Love it. There we go. Oh, and it looks so cute with the black washi, doesn't it? It works out. Oh my gosh, I love that. So see, that's what I'm saying. This is your glue book. So, you know, you're opening it, looking, and then you flip this over, and this is your, I love it so much. So let's continue. I knew I wanted that there, so that was the easy part. And let me see what else. So I'm kind of just going to look through my, you know, I really like one of these gals to be on the front. I really like them. Not to say that they will be, but maybe one of the pinkish girls here. Let's check it out here and see. Oh, maybe that one in the middle. But see, this is red, so I don't know if I like it that way. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, that dark red girl looks pretty. I think I have this one, but I'd have to cut her out. She's cute. So you can just lay things out in Audition. So that's what I'm saying. If you had the red envelope, you don't have to cover the background. But let's put her to the side and let's see what we want on the front. So this is your front. So we want something, what's your next favorite page that you want to put? And I thought this was super cute because we could get a lot of this page on here. It ends right there. So I really like that. And then you can see how it's going to look. So your edge, where's the edge here? I can feel it. So there, so you can see what's coming. I would probably move it down like that so that we don't need this kind here. And then if it folds that way, that's how much you're going to see when you flip it. Isn't that pretty? I like that. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's do that. So this being a page that pretty much fits this whole area, I'm going to feel confident that I don't have to add, well, I don't have to add washi here because it's red. I don't think I need to add washi there or there. So now we're going to fit this page too. And I can see this is rough here, so I will need to straighten that page out first. So I'm going to be careful with this now, not cut too much off. So here's a perfect example. Thin magazine page. I'm going down in the middle, and then I'm going to come back slowly, and there. I get a nice clean cut. All right, so now we need to play with size. We got that size there. I know I want this. I don't need this part here. I want this part up here. So I know I want it, and you can't, make sure you don't go into your fold here. So we know it's going to go all the way up to the top like this. And we got to make sure it's not leaning. So this will flip down really nice, right? Like that. So I have it at the top. This is going to be cut off, so you can, let me move my cutter for a second here. I mean, I'm sure there could be easier ways, but this is how I've been doing it. So, and like I said, I have watched Nicole, and she has like her way, because she's been doing this stuff for a long time. And so I'm going to, I want this down here a little more like that. All right, and you can use a pencil to mark it. So I know that goes there. But what I sometimes like to do is just kind of give it a crease about where it's going to be cut first. And I know I have black here, so I have a little leeway there to play with it. So let's just do that for now. And I'm going to cut that part off first, and then we'll do the bottom. So I'm going to put this in here, kind of look at my fold, make sure it's where I want it. I think I have it where I want it. I know I've got a smidge of a leeway with the black. Just got to make sure I have that there. Okay, I think I do. I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I moved it a little bit. Let's put the blade in the middle, making sure I'm cutting the right side. Yes, I am. Press down and then come slowly back, and there's the piece we cut off. There's really nothing there I need, so I'm going to get rid of that. So we've got that part done. Now we just need to cut the bottom. And let's just recheck here. So this is going to glue right here to the top of the card, like so. And I need to cut a little more off. I can see. Oh, see, if you don't, you got to make sure you move it over so it doesn't interfere with your crease. Okay, that's good. Now look, I have a little more I can cut off. I can do that. So I am going to do that, probably a 1/4 inch. So on this side here, I can do a 1/4 inch more. And it's just eyeballing, really it is. I'm going to do that. Okay, put that in there, go slow. And it helps to have a good blade too. If your blade hasn't been changed in a long time, you might want to change it before you start cutting magazine images, paper. Okay, so what I'm saying is this is going to go up here, and I have black here. So that's why we put the washi there. So this will be glued up here, right, like that. And I like seeing a little bit of the black. That's fine with me. And just make sure that closes. Okay, and then now we know we need to trim this part. So I'm going to just give that a crease here. And we're going to cut that. Put it down, start it in the middle, up, slowly down. And let's see how well I did. So see how I did that? So I know it's going to go up here. Did I cut a little short? I might have. But it's black on the bottom here. You see, this is black down here. So I'm feeling lucky that I don't have to worry about that because it's black. I don't feel like I have to put a washi tape there because there's only, if you can see, there's only a smidge showing and it's black. So I'm good with that. So let's get this glued on. Put that out of the way. All right, so now what I suggest, because I'm going to fold this back on its own. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to start running my glue stick all over the cover here. So just put it on. You can get it a little over the black here because I know it's going over. And then if your edges come up, or if you feel like you didn't get enough glue on there, you can always tuck your little nozzle of your wet glue and sneak it under there and just tack it down. Okay, so I'm getting glue stick on here best I can. Okay, now I got a glue here. Let's get that off. And here, a big one. Okay, got it where I want it. Try not to have any blobs because with the magazine it'll show. All right, now I am going to turn it so I can see, because I want to make sure it's here up to the top, and I know I need a little black down there. So let's make sure this is up there, and I want to make sure it's here. And let's see how well I did here. I need to move that over. And you gotta be careful, right? Because we know magazine is very thin, so I want to get that better here, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna have to lift this here, as long as I know I got it there. So I'm gonna use my scraper here, and I'm going to gently push the air bubbles out if I need to. Oops, and go slow. Hopefully it's working. Sometimes, you know, the first time you get it, and sometimes you don't. So I'm just taking my time here, making sure. And it's not going to be perfect, you know. Nicole gets hers perfect, but she's been doing it a long time. Just go slow. It's only glue stick. You can run a little more under there if you need to. Just be careful so you don't rip your image, because it'll make you sad. I'd rather have a little crease in there than a torn image, so, okay. And be careful with your scraper too, because it's just how it is. See, so I don't mind that little bit of black there because it worked out. I do have a slight crease in here, but you usually can kind of work it out in one way or another. And you know, see how this little edge here, now I could just kind of go in there with the glue stick and hit it. If you see that happening like that. My other edges seem to be fine. This one could use a little here, so we can get some on here. Push that down, and this one, yeah, maybe a little. I'm lifting it up purposely because I feel like it could use some. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get that on. Now we can fold our envelope back. Let's get that back. Now I did kind of go close there, you see, so I can just kind of, you can usually work it where it folds again. And then you can always use, see it's flapping up a little, you can just take your bone folder and give it a push down, and now it's flat. So far, we have this as our main cover. It's so cute, right? Love it. And this is where you can put words, but if you want to, some people decorate per page and then move on, or some people just put all the images on and then go back and start decorating. It's just up to you. I see this here on my stickers, so let's see how that would look. Pull that out. I don't know, I've had this forever, and I don't even know where I got it from. You know what? Years ago, I don't know if you've had them in your neighborhood. Years ago, we used to have a store here in the Midwest called Archivers, and I used to go there quite often when I was in my scrapbooking days. Okay, this is really, really, really thin. Like, I'm probably going to rip it, but I'm going to try not to. It's all connected, barely. See? Oh, okay. I kind of want to put it maybe here. I think I want to do it there. So I'm going to carefully, oh my gosh, I hope I don't ruin it. Okay, let's just kind of, I'm going to put it in an angle. I'm going to start here and gently let it start going down since it's so delicate. And let's see how that works. Just take your time. Oh my gosh, it's like surgery here. Okay, so far so good. I just don't want to, okay, we got that going, and then let the E fall where it needs to. There, so see, look how cute that is. That's nice, and there's hearts there, but there's some hearts here too that we could decorate with. Let's see. We can put a heart there. And maybe one more here. Like that. That's cute. And it has the word love. Now, I think that's super pretty for a cover. All right. I know we're at an hour now, so I think what we're going to do is stop. But I will give you a sneak peek of the one I'm working on, and then in the next video we'll continue with this. But that's our first page of the cover. We did that. And then when you open it up, we have our favorite little picture there. Oh, so cute. So yeah, you don't have to make them big. We're going to cover this too with images or scrapbook paper or digital, whatever you have. But let me give you, let me clean up and kind of give you, I did work on mine a little more. So let's just see how this is. So see, this is mine. Mine's bigger. I had bigger pieces. And it was actually bigger than this, but I knew I had a lot of pages that were whole pages out of a magazine. So I cut the junk mail to fit a whole page of what I pulled out. So that's how I did this one, and made have envelopes on here and things like that. So here's my cover. This is scrapbook paper, and this image was in a Mary Jane magazine. Perfect. And then here's the other side. This was part of a printable. Here's one of those cute ladies. This was part of a printable and scrapbook paper on the back. This is a whole page image that I got out of Mary Jane. These are scrapbook letters. So I put XOX. Oh, I need another O, don't I? I'll put another O there. I think I have it. Oh, right here. See, this came out, so I'm going to have to do an XO there. I better put that there to remind me that I need to do that. So I'm going to put XOXO. That's my cover, and I love vintage retro. So there's that. And then when you open it, this was another envelope. It was a beige one, but I covered it with scrapbook paper, image from a magazine, 2 teacups from Tea Time, and a sticker. And then when you open it, I have a little retro theme going. So I have scrapbook paper on the back side of the envelope, a record, Please Be Mine. This is a vintage image that I cut and made into a sticker. And then from the same sticker book we just used, True Love here. So I think that's super cute. Now see how this is my my inside cover here. All right, so my inside cover. So I did, these are bigger, so I put 2 big ones on here, and this was another full page. I don't mind that. I can always put a heart there, but this love here with the rose, I cut that out of the magazine by itself, and I glued it, and I ripped it because you knew you're going to rip something so thin like this. But I glued this across this page, and I like it just like that. But I might put a heart there because I don't want to see Baking with Mary Jane up there. And then I have these flaps that I need to decorate yet. Okay, so that's the inside. And now here's the back cover. So I added this envelope to a yellow envelope, and it doesn't matter because it's yellow. I'm going to cover it up anyway. So it doesn't matter really what color it is, but because this is a different theme going, I'm not going to leave it yellow. At least I don't think. I don't know. But, and see my washi's coming up, so I'll glue that. So I have this to cover, that to cover, this to cover, this side here. Then I have this envelope. I'm just covering it. I'm not worried about anything here. You could if you're into that. I just don't want to deal with that. And then my back is the very back of everything is that's the back of the middle page. I'll show you my middle. Scrapbook paper, Hobby Lobby, you know, the small sheets, when they're on sale, they're like 30 cents a sheet or something. So then when you open it, this is my middle. Look at that. This was a vintage Coke ad in the Life magazine, and I cut it down, and it was wide enough, but it wasn't long enough. So I just covered the bottom with a strip of scrapbook paper, and I had cut this out of I think it was Mary Jane maybe, and I cut it out and glued it there, and that's my favorite image. I want to be in the middle. So I was happy with that. And then once again on this side, I did 2 more flaps. I covered them with some scrapbook paper for now, but look at this one. I used one of those gals. This tiered tray, this is my kind of Valentine right here. Give me a cup of tea and a tiered tray with little bites. I'm happy. So I put this pretty little scrapbook paper with these little glittery birds, and she's ready to go to tea, and I put a pretty teacup and this 3-tiered tray. I could add words. I'm not there yet, but I just knew this is where I wanted this because this tray fits so good. And now I have these images, pages to decorate. I have this to decorate, this to decorate. But this is as far as I got so far. Mine's a little bigger and more involved, but this is the one I'm working on. So I'll be working on this some more and show you at another time. But I think in the next video, we'll keep working on the smaller one so I can let you see how I'm doing it. And we'll get this one decorated too, okay? All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if it's something you're interested in. And because then we can definitely make more with other themes. It doesn't have to be a monthly theme or anything like that, but it could be flowers, it could be birds, it could be pretty much anything you could think of that you like. And then you would look for those images in whatever you have, magazines, digital, stickers, scrapbook paper, washi tape. It's just fun. The hunt is the fun part, just like in Frame Your Collage. So, all right, friends, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.